My dear brothers and sisters, today I want to remind you of something very simple yet very profound. Trust Allah. Yes, trust Allah completely. Because when you trust Allah, you are putting your heart in the hands of the one who knows what is best for you, even when you do not. You see, sometimes life feels impossible. The doors we hoped for remain closed. The plans we made do not work out. And in those moments, it is easy to despair, it is easy to feel lost. But I tell you, the one who trusts Allah will never truly be lost. Why? Because Allah is the creator of possibilities. Where we see no way, Allah can create a path. Where we see darkness, He can bring light. And where we see failure, He can grant success. Remember, my dear brothers and sisters, trusting Allah is not simply saying, I believe, and then doing nothing. No. It is taking the steps, putting in the effort, and yet knowing that the outcome belongs to Him. It is moving forward with hope, even when the situation seems hopeless. And let me remind you, Allah tests those He loves. These trials, these obstacles, they are not meant to break you. They are meant to elevate you, to strengthen your faith, and to bring you closer to Him. So when life becomes difficult, do not despair. Be patient, be persistent, and most importantly, be trusting. For Allah says in the Quran, indeed with hardship comes ease. Do you believe that? Then hold on to that promise. Allah will make a way where you see none. He will open doors that you never imagined, and He will answer your prayers in ways that are better than you ever hoped. So my advice to you today is this. Put your trust fully in Allah. Let go of your worries. Take your steps, but know that the outcome is in His hands. Keep your heart connected to Him, and I assure you He will guide you through the impossible. Never forget, the one who created the heavens and the earth, the one who created you, can create a way for you, even when all seems lost. Trust Him, follow Him, and watch the miracles unfold in your life. When we speak of trusting Allah, the first and most essential step is to understand His divine wisdom. Allah is Alim, the all-knowing. He knows everything, the seen and the unseen, the apparent and the hidden, the past, present and future. And this knowledge is perfect, complete, and beyond any limit. Often we look at our lives, we look at our struggles, and we question, why is this happening to me? Why am I facing this difficulty? Why did my plan fail? And in those moments we forget a very simple reality. Our vision is limited, our understanding is partial, and our knowledge is tiny compared to the boundless knowledge of Allah. What we consider good for ourselves may actually be harmful, and what we perceive as a loss may actually be a blessing. Allah knows what we do not, and He orchestrates our lives in ways that serve a wisdom far greater than our comprehension. Think for a moment about the way life unfolds. How often do we plan something carefully, only to have it fail? How often do we desire a particular outcome, only for it not to happen? And yet, looking back, we realize that the path we were forced to take was exactly the right one. Perhaps we avoided a danger we could not see, or perhaps the delay we experienced prepared us for something far greater than we had imagined. This is Allah's wisdom. He knows the perfect timing, the perfect people, the perfect circumstances. He arranges the details of our lives with precision and care. Every hardship, every setback, every delay is part of a larger plan designed with perfect wisdom. Understanding divine wisdom also means recognizing that what appears as a problem may actually be a gift in disguise. Sometimes the very things we dislike, the very trials we wish away, are the vehicles through which Allah teaches us patience, resilience, and reliance upon Him. Sometimes what feels like a failure is actually the beginning of a better opportunity that we simply cannot yet see. We are so attached to our own understanding of how things should be that we fail to appreciate how beautifully Allah is guiding us toward what is best for us. When we accept His wisdom, we stop demanding immediate explanations, and we begin to trust that every experience, every situation is part of a larger perfect design. It is important to remember that trusting Allah's wisdom does not mean we become passive or lazy. On the contrary, it motivates us to act with sincerity and diligence, knowing that our efforts are never wasted when they are combined with reliance on Allah. We plant the seeds, we nurture them, and we do our best, but we leave the outcome to Allah, knowing that He knows better than we do what will truly benefit us. Trusting divine wisdom means we do not despair when our plans fail, and we do not become arrogant when our plans succeed. Every result, whether favorable or challenging, is a reflection of Allah's knowledge and wisdom, not merely our own effort. One of the greatest manifestations of Allah's wisdom is the way He uses trials to refine our character. No human being is free from hardship, yet these hardships are never without purpose. They teach us patience, strengthen our faith, and draw us closer to Allah. Sometimes what we consider as obstacles are actually steps to elevate us spiritually, mentally, or emotionally. If we reflect deeply, we realize that our most challenging experiences often bring the greatest blessings. Divine wisdom ensures that nothing in our lives is wasted, that even in our struggles, there is benefit, there is growth, and there is hidden mercy. When we trust Allah's wisdom, we also cultivate contentment in our hearts. We learn to accept that not everything will happen on our timetable, and not every desire will be fulfilled exactly as we imagined. This acceptance does not mean we stop striving. It means we strive with a heart that is free from anxiety, fear, and despair. We work hard, we plan, we aim for excellence, but we understand that ultimate success is not measured by human standards alone. It is measured by Allah's approval and by His knowledge of what is truly best for us. And finally, understanding divine wisdom teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are limited beings with limited vision, limited knowledge, and limited control. Allah, on the other hand, is limitless in knowledge, limitless in power, and limitless in mercy. When we place our trust in Him, we acknowledge that our lives are in the hands of a perfect planner. This trust brings peace because it frees us from the burden of trying to control everything ourselves. We learn to surrender to Allah's will, not out of fear, but out of confidence that His wisdom surpasses our understanding and His plan is always perfect. In summary, Allah's wisdom is infinite, complete, and perfect. Trusting in this wisdom means understanding that everything in our lives, the easy moments and the difficult ones, the joys and the trials, are part of a masterful plan beyond our comprehension. It teaches us patience, humility, resilience, and contentment. It inspires us to act with sincerity while leaving the results to Allah. And it gives us the courage to face life's uncertainties with hope, knowing that the one who holds the universe in His hands is guiding our every step, always for our ultimate good. Trust in Allah, known in Arabic as Tawakkul, is one of the most powerful tools a believer can have in their life. It is the cornerstone of faith and the key to inner peace and resilience. Tawakkul does not mean sitting idle, waiting for miracles to happen without making any effort. No, it is far deeper and more profound than that. True trust in Allah means that after we do everything within our power, we leave the outcome to Him, fully confident that He knows what is best for us. It is a balance between action and reliance, between striving and surrendering, and it requires a heart filled with faith. Many of us struggle with trust because we want control. We want to decide how our lives should unfold. We create plans, we invest effort, and when things do not go according to our expectations, we become frustrated, anxious, and sometimes despairing. But a heart that truly trusts in Allah understands a beautiful reality. He's the planner, the controller of all affairs, the one who knows what is best for His creation. We may see only fragments of the puzzle, but Allah sees the whole picture. When we trust Him, we accept that even outcomes we do not understand are part of a perfect plan. Tawakkul is also a source of immense courage. When a person trusts in Allah, they are no longer bound by fear. They are not paralyzed by uncertainty or overwhelmed by challenges. A heart rooted in trust can face obstacles with calmness and clarity because it knows that Allah is always present, always watching, and always capable of bringing about what is best. Trust transforms fear into hope, weakness into strength, and doubt into certainty. The believer learns to move forward with confidence, not because they control the circumstances, but because they know that Allah controls everything. It is important to realize that trusting Allah does not exempt us from responsibility. In fact, it motivates us to strive harder, to plan carefully, and to act wisely. Tawakkul is not an excuse for laziness or negligence. Rather, it is the source of persistence and perseverance. When we trust Allah, we do not give up at the first sign of difficulty. We take the necessary steps. We seek solutions. We put in the effort, and yet we leave the results in Allah's hands. This combination of action and trust is what distinguishes true reliance from mere wishful thinking. The Quran repeatedly reminds us of the importance of trust. Allah says, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Quran 65. What a powerful promise this is. To rely on Allah is to know that He will take care of your affairs, that He will provide for your needs, and that He will guide you to what is best. It is a shield against despair, a source of patience, and a fountain of hope. When we truly internalize this promise, we begin to see that no matter how complex or challenging our circumstances, Allah is always sufficient for us. Trust in Allah also teaches patience and contentment. When we place our affairs in His hands, we learn to accept delays, setbacks, and difficulties without losing hope. We understand that what we perceive as obstacles may be blessings in disguise, and that every delay may be preparing us for something greater. This patience is not passive waiting. It is an active, confident, and hopeful endurance that strengthens our character. It transforms our perspective, allowing us to see challenges not as punishments, but as opportunities for growth and development. Moreover, Tawakkul purifies the heart from anxiety and stress. When we trust Allah completely, we no longer carry the heavy burden of trying to control every detail of our lives. We stop obsessing over outcomes, comparing ourselves to others, or fearing the unknown. A heart that trusts in Allah experiences a deep and abiding peace, knowing that the one who created the heavens and the earth is managing every aspect of their life. This peace is a blessing in itself, a reminder that Allah's wisdom and mercy encompass all things. History and the lives of the prophets are full of examples of those who trusted Allah fully. They faced immense trials, uncertainty, and danger, yet they persevered with complete reliance on Him. Their lives teach us that trust is not a theoretical concept. It is a practical, lived experience. It is demonstrated through courage in adversity, patience in delay, gratitude in success, and unwavering faith in every circumstance. By following their example, we learn that Tawakkul is not only possible but transformative, capable of guiding us through the most difficult moments of our lives. Finally, trusting Allah brings hope where there seems to be none. When we face situations that appear impossible, when doors remain closed and plans falter, Tawakkul reminds us that nothing is impossible for Allah. He can create solutions where we see none, opportunities where we see obstacles, and light where we see darkness. By trusting in Him, we invite divine intervention and guidance into our lives, and we open ourselves to miracles that surpass human understanding. In essence, trust in Allah is both a mindset and a practice. It is a conscious decision to rely on Him, to act with sincerity, and to leave the outcomes to His perfect wisdom. It is the bridge between effort and faith, action and patience, hope and reality. A heart rooted in Tawakkul is a heart free from fear, a heart strengthened by faith, and a heart that knows that no matter what happens, Allah is sufficient, Allah is capable, and Allah is merciful. Life is full of challenges, trials, and hardships. Every human being, without exception, will face moments of difficulty that test their patience, faith, and resilience. These trials may come in different forms: loss, illness, financial difficulty, broken relationships, or personal failure. It is easy in these moments to feel overwhelmed, to question why these hardships have come to us, and to despair. Yet, patience in trials, known in Arabic as sabr, is one of the most powerful qualities a believer can cultivate. It is not merely waiting or enduring, it is an active, conscious, and faith-filled response to life's difficulties. It is knowing that every trial carries with it wisdom, purpose, and divine design, even if we cannot see it immediately. Patience in trials begins with understanding the nature of life itself. Life is not meant to be without challenges. In fact, trials are part of the natural order of existence, and they are a test from Allah. The Quran tells us that every soul will be tested, that no one is exempt from difficulties. This universal truth reminds us that hardships are not a sign of Allah's displeasure, nor are they unique to any one person. They are an opportunity for growth, a chance to refine our character, and a means of drawing closer to our Creator. When we accept this reality, we shift our perspective from seeing trials as punishment to seeing them as opportunities for development and spiritual elevation. Patience is not passive. It does not mean sitting quietly while hardships consume us. True patience is an active engagement with life's difficulties coupled with trust in Allah. It means facing problems with courage, seeking solutions with determination, and yet accepting that the ultimate outcome is in Allah's hands. It is a balance between effort and surrender, between striving and relying. The patient person does not surrender to despair. Instead, they surrender to Allah's wisdom while continuing to act with sincerity and diligence. One of the most remarkable aspects of patience in trials is that it strengthens our faith. When we endure difficulties with perseverance, we develop a deeper connection with Allah. Our hearts become more reliant on Him, our minds more aware of His presence, and our souls more attuned to His wisdom. Patience transforms the way we see life. What once seemed unbearable becomes manageable, and what once seemed meaningless becomes purposeful. Through patience, we learn that hardship is not the end, but a means to elevate us, to teach us, and to prepare us for better things in life. It is important to understand that the reward for patience is not only in the hereafter, but also in the present moment. A patient heart experiences peace, clarity, and resilience. It is shielded from despair and anxiety because it knows that every hardship is temporary and that Allah's wisdom and mercy encompass all things. The Quran repeatedly reminds us that with every hardship comes ease, that difficulties are followed by relief, and that the one who endures patiently will be rewarded. This is not merely a comforting statement, it is a profound truth that can transform our response to adversity. Patience also teaches gratitude. When we endure trials and witness Allah's support, we develop a greater appreciation for the blessings in our lives. We begin to notice the small mercies that we may have overlooked, and we recognize that even challenges carry benefits that we may not immediately perceive. Gratitude and patience are intertwined. The patient person is often a grateful person because they see beyond the surface of events and recognize the divine wisdom behind every circumstance. Another essential aspect of patience in trials is humility. Trials humble us. They remind us that we are not in complete control, that life is unpredictable, and that our reliance must be on Allah alone. When we face hardship, our ego diminishes, our dependence on worldly security weakens, and our spiritual consciousness strengthens. This humility is a gift, for it aligns our hearts with divine guidance and softens our reliance on mere human effort. It allows us to see that everything we have, health, wealth, relationships, and opportunities, is ultimately from Allah and can be taken away at any moment. History provides countless examples of individuals who displayed extraordinary patience in the face of unimaginable trials. Prophets, companions, and righteous people endured loss, persecution, and hardship, yet their faith never wavered. Their patience was active. They continued to work, to pray, to hope, and to trust Allah's wisdom. Their lives teach us that patience is not weakness but strength, that enduring hardship with faith is a form of victory, and that the believer who perseveres will never truly fail. Finally, patience in trials is a source of hope. Even when circumstances appear impossible, patience reminds us that Allah's help can arrive in ways we cannot anticipate. Doors may seem closed, paths may seem blocked, and opportunities may seem lost. Yet the one who exercises patience is never without hope. Allah can transform hardship into ease, despair into joy, and obstacles into stepping stones. Every trial carries within it the seed of a greater blessing, and patience allows us to nurture that seed until it bears fruit. In essence, patience in trials is a conscious, faith-filled response to life's difficulties. It combines endurance with action, trust with effort, and hope with perseverance. It strengthens our faith, nurtures gratitude, cultivates humility, and brings peace to our hearts. The believer who practices patience understands that hardships are temporary, that divine wisdom governs all affairs, and that relief is always near. By embracing patience, we transform trials from sources of despair into opportunities for growth, and we draw closer to the one who has the power to turn every difficulty into a blessing. Life often challenges us in ways that seem impossible. We make plans, we set goals, and we follow the path we believe is right, only to find ourselves at a dead end. Doors close, opportunities vanish, and circumstances appear insurmountable. It is in these moments that many of us are tempted to despair, to think that nothing will ever work out, or that our efforts are in vain. Yet it is precisely in these moments that we must remember the power of Allah and the truth that He can create a way where none exists. Allah is Al-Qadir, the All-Powerful. There is nothing beyond His capability, and there is no problem too great for His intervention. What we perceive as impossible is merely part of His plan, a plan that we cannot fully comprehend, but which is always perfect in its wisdom. The miracles and unexpected paths of life are a reminder that Allah is not limited by human logic. Our minds are constrained by time, by knowledge, and by experience. But Allah's power and wisdom are limitless. When we encounter a situation that seems hopeless, it is often an invitation to place our trust fully in Him. History is filled with examples of individuals who faced insurmountable odds and yet witnessed miracles through their faith and reliance on Allah. Prophets and righteous people despite overwhelming challenges, never lost hope, and Allah opened doors for them that no human being could have imagined. These stories are not mere tales of the past, they are lessons for us today, reminders that the same Allah who provided for them is the same Allah who can provide for us. One of the most beautiful aspects of divine intervention is that it often comes in ways we do not expect. When a person faces a closed door, Allah may open a window. When all avenues seem blocked, He may create a path that we never envisioned. The human mind tends to limit possibilities, assuming that if we cannot see a solution, it does not exist. But Allah's power transcends our perception. He can bring relief from sources we never anticipated, provide support from unexpected people, or lead us to opportunities that surpass our original desires. These unexpected paths are a manifestation of His mercy and wisdom, and they teach us to remain patient, hopeful, and steadfast. Understanding that Allah can create a way where none exists also encourages us to maintain effort and action. True faith does not mean abandoning responsibility or waiting passively for miracles. It means acting with sincerity, striving to the best of our ability, and then trusting that Allah will guide the results. Effort and reliance go hand in hand. We are not judged for obstacles beyond our control, but we are encouraged to give our best while leaving the outcome to the one who knows best. Often the very act of sincere effort triggers the unexpected solutions of Allah, as He rewards the perseverance, faith, and sincerity of His servants. Miracles in this sense are not always grand or extraordinary events as we might imagine. Sometimes the miracle is subtle, a sudden clarity, a change of heart, a timely opportunity, or the removal of an obstacle at the right moment. Other times it may be dramatic, completely altering the course of our lives. Either way, these interventions remind us that nothing is impossible for Allah. They strengthen our faith and teach us that the limitations we perceive are only human limitations, not divine ones. By keeping our hearts connected to Allah and trusting in His wisdom, we open ourselves to these possibilities. The concept of unexpected paths also teaches us humility and reliance. We are reminded that we do not control the world, nor can we dictate every outcome. Life is a test, and our journey is guided by Allah's infinite knowledge. Recognizing that He can create a way where none exists helps us surrender our ego, reduce our anxiety, and cultivate patience. Instead of despairing when plans fail, we learn to wait with hope, to act with effort, and to trust that Allah may be preparing something far better than what we imagined. Sometimes what appears to be a setback is actually a redirection, leading us to a blessing that we could never have foreseen. Faith in Allah's power and the possibility of unexpected paths also inspires resilience. Life is unpredictable and obstacles are inevitable. But when we hold the belief that Allah can provide solutions where there seem to be none, we face challenges with courage. We do not crumble under pressure, nor do we give up when circumstances appear hopeless. Instead, we persevere, keeping our eyes on Allah, believing in His mercy and trusting that He is capable of turning the impossible into the possible. This resilience transforms our mindset and empowers us to navigate life with hope and determination. Finally, the miracles and unexpected paths created by Allah serve as a source of inspiration for ourselves and for others. When we witness His guidance in our lives, when a closed door suddenly opens or a problem resolves in ways we could not imagine, it strengthens our faith and encourages us to continue trusting Him. It becomes a testimony to others that reliance on Allah is never misplaced, and that no matter how hopeless a situation may seem, divine intervention is always possible. These moments remind us that Allah's power is limitless, His wisdom is perfect, and His mercy is always present. In essence, believing that Allah can create a way where none exists transforms the way we approach life. It frees us from despair, strengthens our perseverance, and deepens our trust in Him. It reminds us that what appears impossible to human eyes is always possible for Allah. By combining sincere effort with unwavering faith, we position ourselves to witness the miracles and unexpected paths that He has prepared. Life may close doors, block roads, and present challenges, but with Allah, there is always a way, always hope, and always a path forward that we may never have imagined. Life often fills our hearts with worry, anxiety, and fear. We think about the future, we fret over the outcomes of our efforts, and we carry the burdens of responsibilities that sometimes feel too heavy to bear. It is natural for the human heart to feel concern, for the mind to ponder and plan, and for the soul to hope for the best. Yet, There is a profound difference between natural concern and the kind of worry that paralyzes us, steals our peace, and clouds our trust in Allah. Surrendering our worries to Allah is an act of faith, a conscious choice to release our anxieties into the hands of the one who knows, sees, and controls all things. It is a practice that transforms fear into trust, uncertainty into hope, and distress into peace. Surrendering worries begins with understanding the nature of control. Many of us carry the illusion that we control the outcomes of our lives, that if we work hard enough, plan carefully enough, or think deeply enough, we can shape the future according to our desires. While effort is important, ultimate control belongs to Allah alone. He is the creator, the planner, the one who manages the heavens and the earth. When we recognize this truth, we begin to release the need to micromanage every detail of our lives. We begin to understand that our role is to act with sincerity, strive diligently, and make wise choices, but the results belong to Allah. Surrendering worries is not inaction, it is the conscious acknowledgement that we do our best while leaving the outcome to the most wise. One of the most powerful aspects of surrendering worries is the inner peace it brings. The human heart was never designed to carry the weight of every uncertainty. Anxiety is exhausting, stress is debilitating, and worry clouds judgment. Yet when we surrender these burdens to Allah, we experience a profound relief. The heart becomes lighter, the mind calmer, and the soul more centered. We realize that worrying does not change the outcome. It only diminishes our ability to act effectively in the present. Surrender allows us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our intentions, and our character, while trusting Allah to handle what we cannot. Surrendering worries also strengthens faith. When we release our anxieties to Allah, we demonstrate a deep trust in His wisdom and mercy. We acknowledge that He knows what is best for us, that His timing is perfect, and that His plans are far greater than our own. This trust does not come easily. It is cultivated through reflection, prayer, and repeated practice. It is reinforced by observing Allah's guidance in our lives and by remembering how He has resolved our difficulties in the past. Each time we surrender or worry and witness the unfolding of Allah's plan, our faith grows stronger and our reliance on Him deepens. Moreover, surrendering worries teaches patience and acceptance. Life does not always go according to our plans. Delays, setbacks, and obstacles are inevitable. Yet when we hand our worries to Allah, we learn to wait with hope rather than despair. We accept that the timing of our relief, the form of our solution, and the nature of our blessings are ultimately determined by Allah. This acceptance does not imply resignation. It is an active, conscious engagement with life that combines effort with trust. It allows us to navigate uncertainty with composure and to maintain hope even when circumstances appear bleak. Another important aspect of surrendering worries is gratitude. When we release our anxieties and trust in Allah's plan, we begin to notice the blessings in our lives more clearly. We see that even in difficulties there is wisdom, mercy, and growth. Our perspective shifts from focusing on what is missing to appreciating what is present. Gratitude and surrender are intertwined. The more we trust Allah, the more we recognize His generosity, and the more we recognize His generosity, the easier it becomes to release our worries into His hands. Surrendering worries also cultivates humility. Anxiety often stems from a belief that we must control everything, that we are responsible for outcomes beyond our power. Surrender reminds us that we are limited beings and that the one who governs the universe is far greater, wiser, and more capable than we can ever be. This humility softens the heart, reduces fear, and opens us to divine guidance. When we accept our limitations and place our trust in Allah, we find a freedom that worry can never provide. The practice of surrender is reinforced through prayer, reflection, and